All right, we want to welcome you into ValleyCentral Election Desk, where we're going to take an in-depth look at some of the races that we have, both the national, the state, and the local level, and discuss some of the issues that are important to you, and some of the topics surrounding some of these campaigns. So, I'm joined here tonight by Robert Velez and Andrew Smith from UTRGV, both political science instructors. How are you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Well,
doing all right about yourself.
Thanks for inviting us. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I love the fact that we're going to talk about some elections here. And so, every 4 years, top of the ticket. This is presidential year, and obviously that is dominating the conversation. We got a couple of things coming in from the Associated Press. Again, it's really early days as far as that goes. And so we've also got the U.S. Senate race, and again, we're going to go in depth into more of these topics. We have the U.S. Senate race, hotly contested seat between Colin Allred, incumbent Ted Cruz. That one is going to be heavily fought. And, actually, I just kind of want to touch on an issue here. Maybe we can expand on this, is that this is one of the only opportunities for a Democratic pickup in the Senate this year. And can you kind of explain to people why some years Democrats might have an advantage, some years Republicans might have an advantage as far as the Senate elections go?
Yeah, well, remember that senators serve 6-year terms, and every 2 years when we have a federal election, 1/3 of the Senate is up for election. So this year, largely Democrats are defending seats, and this is one of the few that pundits and other analysts are saying is in play as far as it could be a pickup where, people have been joking for a long time that Ted Cruz is the least liked person in the Senate. That didn't come from me. It's been said by his colleagues.
His colleagues have said.
So, is that going to happen? I don't know.
But also, Texas, I believe the last time we elected a senator was Lloyd Benson.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So it's been a
while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Well, and Texas has been. Texas has been changing. The population has been changing. People are coming from out of state, moving into Texas, and they're bringing with them however they've been politically socialized throughout the rest of their lives, whether it's their work or their church or where they live, the neighborhood, if they live in an urban area versus a suburban versus a rural area. And maybe you've seen, I know I've seen some of the bumper stickers say, "Don't California my Texas," right? Where they say, if you're from California, you have to assimilate to us, because we're Texas. And
I think Abbott at one point did actually suggest that, there'd be a residency requirement before you're allowed to register to vote.
Yeah, and I think one of Cruz's one of his taglines, "Keep Texas, Texas."
Yeah, Cruz has adopted that.
Yeah. Interesting coming from a Canadian. I couldn't resist.
And so what I wanted, but one thing I did want to add on with what Dr. Velez said is the fact that Allred does have the advantage, despite voter dissatisfaction with the Democrats as a whole. He has the advantage. He's going up against one of the least liked senators. I mean, when even your own allies confess in private that they don't want to be in the same room with you, that's kind of a problem. Just putting that out there. But the other thing is, I think a lot of Texans are just dissatisfied with Cruz's leadership in general, some about his very vocal efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. A lot of people just straight up are never going to forgive him for fleeing to Cancun in the middle of that winter storm that killed people and left the state in, the deep freeze and everything. So, and Allred has run a very centrist platform. In fact, all of the ads I've seen down here haven't actually talked about immigration, even though Democrats are extremely vulnerable to charges of being too soft on immigration security. Instead, it's all the ads I've seen have been effectively trans-panic, just trying to make hay with an issue that I'm just not sure that many people in the Valley actually care about, or at least it's not towards the top of their list.
Yeah.
But they have to, because Allred has made no bones about opposing the Biden administration, a lot of their immigration measures, claiming they're too soft, so Republicans can't hit him on that. And I think you also, of course, as I'm sure we'll talk about tonight, there's the little matter of, and I'm using that term sarcastically, abortion rights. Even in the Valley, that should be, given its history, less susceptible to people turning out because of abortion rights. You may very well see some of that. We certainly saw some of that in 2022. So,
right, you had a lot of the smaller elections, a lot of state ballot initiatives, and in fact, I believe it's 10 states during this election. Abortion, as it were, is on the ballot, from Florida to Arizona. Florida not a swing state, but Arizona very important in that arena.
Yeah, they do. It does tend to motivate voters, that topic. They do tend to turn out for ballot initiatives, and sometimes those ballot initiatives are put on the ballot in a very strategic manner. Right? They go, well, we're not sure if our candidate at the top of the ticket is going to do all that well, so let's make sure we get a solid ballot initiative out there that will drive voters to the polls, and hopefully we'll get some, folks that support our side to support our candidate at the top of the ticket as well.
Right. And moving down the ballot a little bit, we've got Texas 34, Vicente Gonzalez and Myra Flores.
Well, first I want to say I do not know what Project 25 is. I'm not familiar with this. This is not my plan. It's not my plan. It's not President's plan as well. I got my own plan. I believe that parents should have the right to decide what is the best education for their children. I'm the only,
in 2020, in
I would
order
say,
to pick
candidate
up,
here that has
one
children in public
House
schools.
seat
I
out
have
of the
4
ballot.
children in
And
public
they
schools. Public
decided
education is
that
very
they would
important for
crowd
me.
a
I want
majority-white,
to
certainly very
strengthen the
conservative,
public education because I have children
of, the
in public
northern,
schools.
the kind of
But I
the
also
far
believe that
northern edge of the valley, George West, Three Rivers, etc. They would crowd that into the Hidalgo County, most of Hidalgo County and so forth, to get Monica de la Cruz that election. The sacrifice, though, in order to keep to that one person, one vote rule about redistricting, is they had to take a reliably blue section of the old 15th and move it into the 34th. And as a consequence, that is why, even though Democrat support in the Valley has dropped, even though Flores has been spending and spending and spending, she's still very much the underdog. I mean, people thought she had a fighting chance in 2022, and, well, you said it all right there, so.
Yeah. And speaking of spending, it's not just her either. That even with that redistricting, she's getting a lot of NRCC support as well.
Yeah, 800,000. That's not nothing. That's a ton of money. And I think they also provided her some candidate training, which can be very valuable. It is a skill. It's not something that we teach at UTRGV, how to be a candidate.
It's the reason why I'm not running for office.
Is that why?
Well, we know you've just got too many skeletons in your closet. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean,